What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you, know what it is, that NBA slate breakdown for the 4-game NBA slate we got today. Small slate after having a decent sized Sunday slate. Hopefully you guys were able to cash out yesterday and you listened in the beginning of the thing. I said it. You got to play the Joker. 83 fantasy points practically was in the Giannis spot like what we had on Saturday. You had to play the Joker. If there was no LeBron James, you figure out a way to get AD and the Joker into your line. Find the value. We had the Heat players on the slate again, and boom, you're going to cash. Now, of course, your boy didn't have the right combination myself, but again, like I keep saying, it's every day with the NBA. That's one reason why I love the NBA. It gives us chance and chance again to go ahead and cash out. Min cash isn't going to do it. We're trying to get the takedown in one of these days of the season. I promise you, we're going to get that takedown. It's a 4-game slate, small slate, but still some stuff to break down, some stuff for us to find. Hopefully you guys had a really good weekend, and let's go ahead and let's kick this week off great. If you guys are new here and you haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the breakdowns that I'm doing over here on the channel. And drop a like on the video if you guys are enjoying the content. It lets me know to keep on putting this stuff out for you guys. It lets me know that I'm doing something somewhat right? All right. So looking at the slate for today, like I said, we got 4 games. Let's see. Anybody on the back-to-back? Washington is on a back-to-back. They played yesterday, and the New York Knicks are on a back-to-back. They played yesterday as well. And the Bulls. The Bulls are on the back-to-back. They played yesterday. So a couple of teams on back-to-back, but some of these teams, I know for a fact, the Knicks, they didn't have to play their full allotment of minutes. So we don't have to worry too much in regards to rest for them or a minute limitation for them because they blew out whoever they played yesterday. I can't remember off the top of my head. That was one of the early games. And then Washington, I know they played pretty deep, but again, it's Washington. We're really going to be targeting the Toronto side of that game anyway. And everyone else, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do what we do. All right, starting out with the injury report like we always do over here. First off, the Knicks, no news to report for them, but definitely pay attention. Like I said, they are on the back-to-back. I doubt that they rest anybody, but definitely we want to pay attention to that just in the event in case they actually decide to. We don't want to get caught off guard or something like that of the sort with that news. For Boston, looks like everyone's back. Everything's good for them. Nothing that we have to worry about over here for Boston. Going over here to Washington, Gafford, he left the game yesterday a little bit and want to say it was a thumb injury or something like that happened to him, but he came back. So definitely just once again pay attention. We know that maybe Gafford, he's been up and down in regards to his minutes. Maybe they rest him, maybe they don't. But if you're looking at anything from the Washington Wizards, you want to pay attention to their starting lineup and what's going on with them. For the Toronto Raptors, nothing really for them except for Gary Trent Jr., but he's playing off the bench. Mainly it's going to be the starters that we want to focus on. They got Precious Achiuwa back last game, so he's back. He's back in the fold, backing up Jakob Poeltl. So Poeltl, maybe his minutes go back down into those low 25, 28 minutes. He's kind of in the Clint Capella role over here for Toronto. Over here for the Bulls, which honestly, I'm going to talk on it when I get actually to this player when we get over here to the Bulls, but the Bulls yesterday, I'm still scratching my head on that one, but nothing really for the Bulls. Alex Caruso, Terry, if you even roster pay attention to those guys. Okay. For Milwaukee, biggest thing is Jay Crowder, who is a piece of the rotation, plays about 15 to 20 minutes a game. He is going to be out for this game, and Damian Lillard is a game time decision. Hopefully, he actually does play today. He has missed the last 2 games with the calf strain, but he should be back today. I would expect Dame to be back. He's had a lot of days off. The last game, the Hammer game, we already know De'Aaron Fox, he's not going to play today. Trey Lyles is out over here for the Kings, so should be the same starters that we've seen for a little bit for the Kings. And then over here on the Cavs, their starters, they're all good. They're healthy. They're going to play. And then the same guys that have been out on the bench are going to be out. Heading over to DraftKings, if you guys don't got an account, you want one, this is DFS. This is what we play every single day, daily fantasy sports. And you want an account over here on DraftKings, check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join me over here on the King. Yes, actually today I will cover a prop or two in regards to, something that you guys can play, how I do my research process in regards to looking for props, and maybe you guys might learn a little something so it can help you guys become better prop players or DFS players as well, along with some of the research and stuff that I do. Again, if you guys don't got an account, check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus. And if you guys are looking for my plays, my core plays, my cheat sheet, the prop list, all that stuff, not only my stuff, but everyone else over here at the No Days Off group, check the link for the Dub Club. Right now, it is free. That promo ends in 2 days. On the 15th, the promo is done. You're getting 1 month for free when you join up the Dub Club right now. That's 30 days. I honestly don't know a better value that you can get right now. We've been putting all this content out for you guys for the past 2 weeks for free. So definitely go ahead and jump onto it as right now while you can. And then just go ahead and join the wave. Talk to us inside Discord. We got a really great Discord. Some really great minds in there. Good guys. And they'll definitely keep you laughing and definitely, we can sweat out some picks and some slips and some plays as well. All right. Heading over to go ahead and start this breakdown. Start with the New York Knicks. Like I said, they did play yesterday. They're going up against the Boston Celtics. We've already seen this game once this season. In that game, Julius Randle, he had the better game out of everybody. Jalen Brunson, he did did okay. They are playing in Boston for this game. Again, like I said, they are on the back-to-back. If we're playing anything from Boston, we already know where it's going to start, what's going to end. Well, not for Boston. For anybody for the New York Knicks, we know where it's going to start and end. It's going to be the main three guys in Brunson, Randle, and RJ Barrett. Those are going to be the main guys that we're going to want to look to and go to if we're going to actually play anything. Really, I don't have any take on any of these guys. If I take anything, it will be Julius Randle. Yes, he's $100 cheaper than what Brunson is. I don't like Brunson. His matchup going up against Jrue Holiday and Derek White. Those are some pretty good actual defenders at the guard position. Julius Randle, he's been pretty steady so far this season. In that first game going up against Boston, he did drop 40. I want to say it was 45 fantasy points, if I'm not mistaken. Where's it at? Yep. He dropped 45.25 fantasy points, which is a pretty good fantasy point number, and that was only in 34 minutes. And this was before Julius Randle was getting his shot going, was actually converting a lot of the shots that he was taking. Right now, over his past, I'll say, yeah, 3-ish games, he's actually finally getting that shot to fall a little bit more. So maybe he comes into this game locked in. Those last 3 games, they were at home. He is going to be on the road. So hopefully he can actually dial it in and still hit those shots. Definitely rebounding. Rebound's been a really big thing for him. Double-digit rebounding in a lot of his games, averaging practically close to, 10 rebounds a game. Let me see. Your rebounding numbers. Last game, 5. Last 10 days. For the season, yeah, he's averaging 10 rebounds. So hopefully, definitely he can actually go out here, still rebound as well as I'm not expecting too many minutes from Mr. Robinson. Wouldn't be surprised if they did run a little small, put some Iman quickly out there to play a good chunk of minutes out there with the starters in this case. But speaking of quickly, he actually did have a really great game in that first game going up against Boston. Went out there and he dropped 41 fantasy points in 28 minutes. Definitely had it going from a shooting perspective. Was able to rebound and also dish some assists. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if Mitchell Robinson gets played off the floor. We do know he can get himself into foul trouble, and maybe we do see some more minutes for guys like Quickly. Quentin Grimes, he should actually be the starter right there. But mainly for me over here for New York, it's gonna be Randle. Randle will be the safest play, I think, over there for them. Brunson, RJ Barrett, all those guys, those are more GPP consideration for me. Not really going too crazy right there. Barrett, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna even try to attempt that. Going over to the other side on Boston, we already know this is a pretty good defensive team. All these players are going to be in pretty decent spots. Out of all of them, I will say, and I'll continue to attack it, I like going to the shooting guard small forward position to attack the New York Knicks. RJ Barrett defense is not something that I've been scared of at all whatsoever, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to go right back to my boy Jaylen Brown. In the first game going up against him, he didn't have the greatest game, but over his last several games, he's actually been playing really well. One game he had a dud going up against Philly, pretty good defensive team, but only 27 fantasy points in 38 minutes, shot 4 of 11 in a game. Ever since then, double-digit shot attempts, really getting up there. Definitely he's hitting it from 3 as well, rebounding, the assist. We know he can get a couple of those peripheral stats, but it's really going to be in his scoring, and that's definitely what they're going to need. Has played pretty good playing at home so far for the season, so definitely going to be interesting me here if I'm going to take someone from the Boston Celtics. Outside of that, I will have a little bit of interest in Jrue Holiday, who seems to have found his footing, found his hole here. We know he's going to be primarily out there for the defense. We know he can go ahead and get some steals, get some blocks, things like that. Very good guard defender, and if they need him to score, he will actually take those shots and he'll knock them down as well. But the assist upside, that is definitely there for him. The rebounding, it's crazy the amount of rebounds that he actually can go out there and snag being a guard. But the scoring, so not saying that he has triple-double upside, but he's going to stuff the stat sheets in more than one way. Sitting at a decent price tag at 6'9", I do not hate that. And then if you want to come down 1,000 cheaper and go down to Derek White, I don't hate that at all. That's not a bad spot to come down to get one of the Boston guards if you want to mess with it. If you don't want to mess with a Jaylen Brown, you definitely, of course, always go up Tatum, but high price tag 10K. That's where we're going to have to come to the realm of, do we want to play Sabonis? Do we want to play Donovan Mitchell? Do we want to play one of these Raptors guys instead? Do we want to play Giannis on the slate? So Tatum might go lower on today's slate. Not a must, but definitely someone that you can consider and go to. And then, of course, I'm going to have to mention my boy KP, facing his former team. Dropped 50 fantasy points going up against him in that first game. I definitely think we can go right back to this exact position spot. He's played his former team pretty well anytime that he has gone up against them. But I will say that, they've done pretty decent against opposing centers, especially Mitchell Robinson. He's not a slouch on defense, but those centers that can actually stretch the floor, such as a Brook Lopez, Evan Mobley, and things like that, they actually have had some pretty decent games. And Kristaps Porzingis, he's in that realm of being able to stretch the floor. We know he's going to take a couple of threes while he's out there on the court. That was a big part of why he went off in that first game. So definitely we'll have to mention KP as a possible play that you can go to on the slate. Going over here to Washington, taking on the Toronto Raptors. There's a reason why the Toronto Raptors are the guys that you see up there as the cover photo for today, because they're pretty much in the smash spot. They're going up against the Washington Wizards, who legit play no defense. They run really fast. This should honestly be a clinic for any of the Raptors players, but of course, focusing on the Washington side, it's the 229 total, 10-point spread in favor of the Raptors. I would expect them, of course, to win. I'm gonna go with. I'm not going to predict a blowout. I can't do that because, of course, it's DFS. But if we're going to play anything from over here, definitely I will have to, of course, talk about Kyle Kuzma. We already know he's mainly the most consistent player over here for them. If you want to mess with that, the defense that he should get with going up against Siakam, going up against Precious Achiuwa when he's out there, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, all these guys, they're really great defenders. The length, all of that is going to be out there for the Raptors. I don't see Kuzma being able to have the greatest game because this is going to actually be a tough matchup. But if he can tap in, just like how Tatum did, Wemby did, Tobias Harris, then it's going to be a decent spot, and you're going to get Kyle Kuzma at a low ownership. I'm not going to mess with Poole. Wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. I'm really actually sick of him. I wish they would just bench him, kick him out of the league, something. But the Poole has been horrible. I'm not even going to touch that. Don't mess with Poole. Tyus Jones, if you want to mess with a guard, you could definitely screw with Tyus Jones. But if you're expecting this game to possibly a blowout, maybe some of the players can go out here and get some decent run. Koulibaly, he's been playing pretty decent. Last game, popped off for 42.25 fantasy points, going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Played 34 minutes. Looked really good. I watched that game, actually. I don't mind taking a stab at him just for the value. 3,900 rookie. He should definitely see the burner run no matter how this game goes. And then if they decide to run small, maybe they put Kuzma at the center position. We could definitely see some more minutes for Koulibaly, who we know they are trying to actually develop and give him that burner run. Everyone else over here, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Going over to the Toronto Raptors on the other side for them, you guys already know the main guy that I always love to go to, and that's going to be my boy Scotty Barnes. The usage, everything that this kid has for this team, they are finally respecting him. He's sitting at 9K, but rightfully so. Definitely rightfully priced at that 9K price tag, especially in this matchup where he should be able to go out here and get whatever he wants. Opposing small forwards have done a number going up against the Washington Wizards. Gordon Hayward, back-to-back games, dropped over 35 fantasy points going up against them. Jimmy Butler, 37 fantasy points. DeAndre Hunter, low usage player for the Hawks, 38 fantasy points. Jaylen Brown, 58 fantasy points. So Scotty Barnes, with the triple-double upside that this kid has, the blocks, the steal upside that he has, I can only imagine that he's at least going to give me about a 40-plus fantasy point game. Now, everybody, honestly, over here for the Raptors are in great position, great spot. It's really just going to be picking our poison. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 2 Raptors inside your lineup is going to be optimal for today's slate. Definitely 2. And it's primarily going to be starting with the starters. Dennis Schroeder, OG Anunoby, Siakam. As much as I hate to say the name Siakam, I'm going to have to include him here in this area, but you could definitely consider Siakam. And then Jakob Poeltl, even though I do expect for his minutes to be teeter-tottering in regards to the fact that, hey, they got Precious back. They're not going to have to play him all these big 29, 30-ish minutes that they were playing before. And that does have a lot of merit for me looking at Precious Achiuwa, who I know is going to come out here. First game back, played 19 minutes. I would expect him to go back to that 20-ish minutes range that he was getting before he got himself injured and was out for some time. And I don't mind actually going to him over playing Jakob Poeltl. I really don't. I actually do like Precious. Definitely think he has the upside. And we've seen the opposing centers going up against Washington. They've had pretty decent games. So definitely do not mind that right there. But definitely all of them are in play. Dennis Schroeder, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa. Those would be my main guys that I want to focus to and go to over here for the Raptors. Those would be the main guys that I want to. And this is, of course, like I said, definitely a GPP spot where we can probably get a low-owned Pascal Siakam, where he finally actually pops off and has another 53 fantasy point type game. I could definitely actually see that in the cards for him here today if you want to take a stab at that here, especially for the 1K savings that you get coming off of Scotty Barnes going down to Siakam. So definitely a spot for you to go to. All right, going over to the Chicago Bulls, you guys already know what time it is. We play the ownership game. Whichever one is going to be lower owned, that's who we're going to want to go to. I will say DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, they have the better matchup going up against Milwaukee because they are the shooters that actually can go out here and shoot. Vooch, Brook Lopez, he can actually stretch the floor. He will come out there and defend him at 3-point line. So it is going to be the shooters in DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Kobe White. Can't forget about him since he is also a shooter himself. All 3 of these guys are going to be in play. We know Milwaukee out there on the perimeter, they suck at guarding opposing shooting teams, and that is what the Bulls like to do. They get a lot of their fantasy points from scoring, and that's just what it is over here for them. Now, I will say, Andre the fucking Giant Drummond, went out there last game in 15 minutes, dropped 33.75 fantasy points. I am amazed at the production that this man has, and I'm amazed that he's still a backup big. I really do feel like he could start, honestly, in this league for a couple of teams, honestly, that are looking for a real good center. And still like Drummond. I think that he definitely has a production. I know he's tried to incorporate the 3-point shot into his game. He hasn't really taken any. He was taking some in the preseason. But Drummond, really great fantasy point per minute producer. If you feel like maybe Vooch gets himself into foul trouble trying to go out there and guard Giannis, maybe they try to go Drummond a little bit out there to try to guard Giannis, the strength that he actually has. I could see it taking a chance on going down here to Andre Drummond, but not saying that it's a must, but definitely something to keep in your head, a possibility. If you land there, you're in that realm, someone that you could possibly take. But again, for the main guys, I'll really be playing between Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Kobe White will be the main guys, and I'll look at the ownership game right there between Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to see which one I want to go to. Over here for the Milwaukee Bucks, I expect Damian Lillard to play. If Dame is actually in, he's had the most rest. Unless they're going to put him on a minutes cap or limit, I don't mind taking a stab at Dame. He's coming off of 3 straight back-to-back games of 40+ fantasy points, so definitely worth a stab taking the Damian Lillard. If not, of course, if you want to pay up for it, Giannis, he's been on a roll, he's been on a tear, but these games, they have been without Damian Lillard out there. Again, no one's really going to be able to stop Giannis. It's all about slowing him down. I still don't mind taking a stab at him here if you want to. Outside of that, with Jay Crowder being out for this game, I would expect probably some more minutes for Bobby Portis and Beauchamp, if anything. So definitely keep them on your radar in consideration. We know Bobby Portis, whenever he gets into the game, he is a pretty good fantasy point per minute producer, and he's done that so far this season. But at that 5.4 price tag, might just be a little bit too pricey to get up to in that mid range. So I definitely would probably rather take a stab at a player like Beauchamp. Has played decent minutes over the last couple of games. Not the greatest fantasy point per minute producer, but definitely at 3.3. It's value. It's honestly, it's just value at this point. So definitely something that you could possibly take a stab at. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Pat Connaughton. You could possibly take a stab at him at 3.7. So definitely another play right there. All right, getting over to the Kings, taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out over here on the channel. It really means a lot to me, you guys checking out this video, and drop a like on this video if you guys are enjoying it. So over here for the Kings, we know Donovan Mitchell. He's going to go out here. He's going to chuck up his shots. He's going to do what he has to do to try to keep this team in it. Darius Garland let me down in that last game going up against the Warriors. I really was expecting more from him in the time frame that he dropped, especially the assist department. I'm not going to forgive him for that 25x that he legit botched for me on the last slate. But both guards are definitely going to be in prime positions to be able to go out here. I know it's going to be a fast-paced game. I definitely see merit in dropping down from Donovan Mitchell, who's sitting at 9.3, coming down to Darius Garland. Like I said, both of them are in really great spots to actually pop off. Last couple of guards going up against the Sacramento Kings. SGA dropped 57 fantasy points. Fred VanVleet dropped only 24 in his second game going up against them. First game, he dropped 53. Steph Curry, 30. D'Angelo Russell, 34. Chris Paul, 34. 36. And then Steph Curry actually popped off for a 70+ fantasy point game going up against him. I'm not saying that Garland's going to go out here and do that, but the shooting that he has, the playmaking that he has, I definitely do see some merit in playing him in this position spot. Definitely do not mind that at all. And then if you want to go with the upside, the possible upside that Donovan Mitchell can go out here and give you and has, I definitely do not mind taking a stab at him, but he's not a must. Now, I will say both the bigs in Allen and Mobley, we've seen the minutes slowly ticking up for Jared Allen. He's looked pretty good in his time frame. 5,700. I really do feel like that's pretty cheap considering that they had him started out at 6K. And slowly but surely, the minutes are definitely getting up there for him. If he can keep himself out of foul trouble, rebound quite a bit while he's out there, which we know is one of his big things that he can actually go out here and do, I really do actually like the spot for Jared Allen. And definitely do not mind pivoting down to Evan Mobley if you would rather go with the safety, because we do know they will run small and play Evan Mobley at the center position, especially whenever Allen gets himself into foul trouble. Going over here to the King side, this is a spot where we have one of our value plays on today's slate, and that's going to be Keon Ellis. As long as they're going to start him as the starting point guard, I don't see any reason not to go ahead and play the kid. Yes, he's not going to be the fanciest, the flashiest, or anything out there for you in regards to what he's going to give you. But if you're going to tell me he can go out here at 3.9, pretty much, I'll say 4K. At 4K and at least give me 20 to 25 fantasy points, I'll take that. 31 minutes going up against my OKC Thunder. He did not shoot well. 1 of 7 from 3, which were the chunk of his shots. Playmaked a little bit, got 2 assists, couple of rebounds, got a couple of blocks, couple of fouls. But going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, we just seen Klay Thompson and Steph Curry went out here and lit him up. If his main priority of shooting is going to be threes, I will take a chance on a kid that's going to chuck at least 7 to 8 threes and hopefully hope that he can actually make 50% of them and still give me the production that he can give in regards to a little bit of assists that he's going to give me and a couple of those rebounds. So at 3.9, I definitely see no reason not to go ahead and play the kid. I really do like the spot for him. Now, if they change the starting lineup, we definitely want to pay attention to that. Definitely just pay attention to that. again, Fox, he practiced, but he is doubtful to play today. He did practice yesterday, full participating in practice on Sunday. Now, pay attention to that because we know how teams are. Sometimes they try to psych us out or something like that. But right now, Keon Ellis is going to be the primary guy that I want to go to over here for them. Outside of that, you can take a stab at Sabonis, Malik Monk off the bench, Kevin Huerter if you want to mess with that. But mainly for me, it's going to be Keon, and then I'm going to get the other part of this game, more than likely from the Cleveland side, is where I'm going to focus a lot of my attention to if I'm taking anything. All right, guys, that is going to be the breakdown for the NBA. I actually have one more thing for you guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to actually go over a couple of props. So heading over here to the site that I like to use, which is Outlier DFS. If you guys do not have an Outlier account, check the link down in the description below so you guys can sign up for Outlier and get a week for free. I don't know if they're still doing the promo where you can get a month for free, but definitely check this out. It is a kind of like props.cash where you can look at a lot of stuff. Right now they are focused more on the books, but a lot of these things we already know: Prize Picks, Underdog, all of them, Sports Battle. They get their lines from what the books are putting out in regards to what they're actually going to put out for their prop plays, and it's the exact same thing. So coming over here, one of the cool things that they have this tab called the Trends tab. You can't see it up at the top because my screen doesn't cover that, but it's the Trends tab, and you can see what some of these players have done over 12, 24, 29, 9, 10, whatever games. It'll give you these little tidbits that you can actually look deeper into. Right here up at the top, we got Jalen Brunson has exceeded 3.5 rebounds in 11 of his last 12 games against opponents with a winning record. Right now, it's a plus 16 over there on FanDuel. Maybe you don't want to mess with the plus. Maybe you're looking for something that has a positive value for it, such as Donovan Mitchell. He's failed to exceed 5.5 assists in 24 of his last 29 games, and a chunk of those games do cover this season. And some of these games, they're with or without Garland. So maybe you want to look a little bit more into that. So you can definitely click this one right here, go into it. We'll look for the season. Boom, that's what he's done. If you want to actually see what has he done in his away games, you can actually click this right here. And right now in away games, he's gone over this in 2 out of 3 away games. So, okay, he's on the road. Maybe we have a better chance for him to actually stake the under. Let's check out his head-to-head going up against the Kings, and his one head-to-head that he played last season on November the 9th. He only had 4 assists in that game. So definitely something that we can pay attention to. You can check it out, players that he's played without, things like that, see how his numbers match up, and you can look at the whole 2022 season, see how it looks, so on and so forth. So that's one of the really cool things that I do like that they have. And of course, if you're just looking for straight up props, you can click this right here. Look at the props. They have hockey, boys basketball, football, the NFL as well, and definitely you can go right here. All the props they have first quarter, which I know Prize Picks is actually giving us, and just scroll through and decide what you actually want. So I already have the prop tab pulled up with everything that I actually pay attention to on the list. And right now for myself, I sort going by what their averages for the 2023 season has been, and I'll scroll through. It's giving you the DVP metric in regards to what these players do in certain spots. Now I've already got a play that I already like for the day. Pull it up. Jared Allen over 10.5 points. Right now he is favored for -120, which is a pretty good percentage over there on the books. We already know that the Kings, they are allowing the 25th ranking in regards to centers on the season. So pretty good. He has gone over in the 4 games that he's played this season, 3 out of those 4 games. And like I said, the minutes, you guys can't see the minutes down here, but the minutes, they have ticked up. In the 1 game that he did not go over, he only played 21 minutes in that game. Now to further check myself, I always like to come over here and I'll go to Number Fire, free projections if you guys are looking for a projection site, and come down here, go down to Jared Allen, look at it for his points. He is slated for 12.4 points is what they are projecting him at on today's slate. Let's say you don't like Number Fire's projections and systems. Maybe you want to go over here, use Sportsline, another free site that you can use to go ahead and check projections. You come over here, Jared Allen, already searched him up. Points, he's projected for 13.1 points. So it's a lot of value that we're actually going to get on this play. So heading over to Prize Picks, going over here, we're going to type in Allen, see if he's still sitting up here. He is still sitting at 10.5 points. So boom, that's already a play that we're going to go ahead and take the over on, and bow. We got 1 play to go ahead and lock it to our ticket. And research, it's literally just that easy to go ahead and look into the stuff. You don't have to go and try to make your own projections, stuff like that. You have free sites that actually give stuff that we can actually use. If you want to pay for stuff, it's totally fine. It's totally okay. But the simple research that we can do right here, and a lot of it, just pay attention to the Vegas lines, guys. Minus 120, typically anything that's minus 115, 120, so on and so forth, those are pretty good lines to go to. When it's the minus 145s, things like that, if you can jump on it before these prop sites actually bump those up, definitely go ahead and jump on that if you can, because those are typically some really good lines to get to and to have inside of your prop slips and things like that. If you guys are looking for my full slip today, I will have at least 6 NBA plays on today's slate, maybe a couple of NFL if anything pops up for that, and I will look into the college basketball whenever I get the chance to, and I will have all those plays. Check the link down in the description below for the Depth Club. With that being said, it's your boys though. Hopefully you guys do cash out on today's slate. Let's go ahead and kill it. Start the week off strong. Peace.